Hey guys, Jonathan here, and in today's video, I want to show you my custom minifigures from Stranger Things 5 Volume 1, aka the first 4 episodes of Stranger Things. Now, every figure here is made using 100% official LEGO parts and pieces, and a lot of the figures have parts that came out of the Creel House, which LEGO sent to me early to review. Of course, it comes out January 2026, so if you're watching this in the future, well, that's just dandy because you can get the set now, or if you're watching it right at the time of its release, you could start to order some of these pieces so that when the set comes out in January, you can have all the pieces ready to go to make upgrades. Either way, thank you so much for clicking on this video, and without further ado, let's start getting into how to make these figures, and we'll start with the figures that don't really need any changes, and then we'll work our way up in complexity, including the figures that don't even come in the Creel House, so it's going to be a fun ride, and let's get right to it. So we'll start off with the minifigs from the set that I don't actually think need upgrading. Those are 11, Mr. Whatsit, Vecna, and of course Max. Honestly, yeah, there are things you could change, sure. Like, I guess you could give Vecna some shoulder armor, but honestly, from what's in my collection, I don't have anything in that dark red color that would match. And sure, maybe you could give Max, like, dual molded legs or printed legs or something, but overall, for simplicity, I do think these 4 actually present pretty well and don't need any significant upgrades. Now, all of these minifigs have 2 or less pieces to change, so again, all of them are from the Creel House, but they're on the simpler side to change. For example, with Nancy, I added a brown shotgun here, since she's obviously our marksman, and I gave her lighter blue legs than come in the actual set. For Holly Wheeler, I actually changed the head to Luna Lovegood, because I think that works a little bit better here. I just like that look, and I think it just works better. Then for Will, I went ahead and swapped his hair out for Doc Ock's hair. Of course, it's been in lots of other places, but being a superhero's primary channel, that's the easiest place to get it here. Then for Mike, I gave him Harry Potter's hair from the more modern Harry Potter sets. I think that works great. And for Lucas, I just swapped out his legs for that khaki brown color, which again, I think actually accurately gets his costume across a little bit better. So everybody here basically just has one piece swapped out to make him that much more accurate. So these figures all use 2 or more pieces to upgrade, so they're a little bit more complex, but not super crazily so. For Steve, I gave him dark blue legs and used the torso from the Creel House set, while giving him this head from the BTS set, which also was in the Pharrell Friend set, and of course the Dareth hair from Ninjago. Then for Robin, I actually used the same legs, torso, and headphone accessory, but I gave her the head and the hair from Nami from One Piece. I think that the hair is a little too fiery orange color, but it does work out pretty well. I mean, it works out well enough, you know what I mean? I don't really know that there's a better hair option, and the one that came in the set, I don't know, I liked it, but I think that this works out pretty well. Plus, you guys commented on my last Stranger Things custom video and suggested this, and once I tried it, I actually liked it quite a bit. Then for Dustin, I went ahead and used the hip piece with the belt there from Owen Grady from Jurassic World, I believe. Then I used the torso and the hat piece from Dustin from the Creel House. And then the head I used is very rare and quite valuable, and that's from the original Dustin Henderson minifigure from the Stranger Things set back in the day from the Upside Down. So that is pretty rare. If you don't have that, I do think the Dustin head that comes in the set is pretty good, but if you have that original one, I just think it looks so much like Gaten that it's definitely the choice to use, if you ask me. So as we transition into some of the custom characters, I will go ahead and throw in the Demogorgon. This isn't a custom or anything, but it is a figure that technically didn't come in the Creel House. It came in the original Upside Down set, but definitely essential for Stranger Things 5. So yeah, I'm not really sure who I would classify him with. I thought he would make for a great segue into the Upside Down of customs, where now everybody will be made from the ground up. So here we have Joyce Byers, my name twin, and I went ahead and built him from the ground up. Now, I think a great head to use here is actually Elrond from Lord of the Rings. He's got the sunken-in eyes there, and this is the smiling expression, but honestly, even the more dismayed expression works pretty well. I do think he looks a little too old for Joyce Byers, but I do think that having those sunken-in eyes and those facial features to go with it are kind of essential here, and so it works out great. The torso is from America Chavez from Doctor Strange, of course, in Marvel, and I thought that translated really well for kind of like an 80s jean jacket look. Then, of course, he's got the same hair that Joyce Byers uses and dark blue legs. Here we have Robin's girlfriend, Vicky, and there are red Lego overall torsos with white underneath, but sadly I don't have any, so I used this regular torso. I think it's been used in like Lego City and stuff like that. Of course, I used those short-sleeved arms from Nami that we used earlier for Robin. And then, of course, we've got these legs here, which have just a little bit of printing on the hips. I don't remember where they came from. I'm sure someone in the comments will remember. But the head, I believe, is from April O'Neil. And then, of course, the hairpiece is just like the Ron hairpiece from Harry Potter, although it was used in other places. And while this isn't perfect, you know, it is a good representation, I think, given the pieces I have to work with. And like I said, it's kind of nice because Robin uses Nami's head and hair, and then using the Nami figure to get the short sleeves here is always a good move because, you know, that minimizes the amount of figures needed to make a custom, and that's always a good move here in the world of Purist Custom. Up next, we've got Ted Walk 'em Down We Are. This figure turned out great, I think. Of course, you're going to need the golf club, which I got from President Business from the Lego Movie 2 CMF series. Then I gave him some dark khaki legs with the flipped around torso for that gray sweater that comes on Aunt May from the Spider-Man train set, although it has been used in other places. In fact, I will flip it around so you can see the more common side of the torso that you might be more familiar with. Then he's got flat brown hair and the head that comes in the Jaws set from Lego Ideas. So I think this turned out great, and honestly, I think it's one of the better customs in the entire showcase, if we're being real. Here we have Hopper from his crawl in the Upside Down, and I think this one turned out awesome. I'm very happy with the final look, and the head actually comes from the original Hopper from the Upside Down, which was coincidentally also used on Red Guardian from the Black Widow set back in 2020. Now, flipping him around, you can see he's got this adventure backpack on there. I think that looks great. He's got a black beanie. Then the torso is actually the Bruce Banner torso, but flipped around, and that actually gets covered up by the backpack, so that works great. He's got brown gloves on there, as well as a rifle from Star Wars and gray legs to finish out the look. Here we have Joyce Byers, and I went ahead and used the original Joyce hair and the face choice there from the Upside Down set years ago. That face was exclusive to that set, but it just looks so much like Winona Ryder, I can't not use it. Then the hair, of course, was used on Hermione and stuff, so that's a little easier to find. The torso comes from MJ from Spider-Man No Way Home, although I believe it was used in other places, with dark blue legs, and of course I gave her an axe because, well, why not? Here we've got Murray, and I love the way that this one turned out. Ironically, the torso I used is from Hopper from the Stranger Things Squawk radio station GWP you'll get if you get the set when it first comes out. But that being said, it's not exclusive. It's come in other places, so you can find that. But he's got the khaki legs there, and I gave him the Awesome Mix Volume 1, of course, from Guardians of the Galaxy, because of the cassette that he gives to Jonathan in Volume 1 here, which works great. Get it? Volume 1, Volume 1. I'm on top of it, folks. Then, of course, he's got a flipped around orange scarf there that works great, and then we come to the head, which is a difficult thing. You guys know I love Lego Indiana Jones, so my pick here was the head from Sala, and it came in the Pharrell Williams Over the Moon set as well. But here's the reality, guys. There are not any flesh-colored Lego heads that have a black beard and glasses like Murray. He's always been a difficult character to make, so, you know, you could go for the glasses but not the beard but not the glasses, and that's ultimately what I went for here, because I think by the time you put this baseball cap on and the scarf, it kind of takes away from the fact that he doesn't have glasses on. So, you know, it's a sacrifice that has to be made, and hopefully you guys dig it. Here we have Erica, Lucas's little sister, and for this one, I used the torso here with the purple jacket that came in the Big Bang Theory set. Of course, I had to give her her iconic pie with short blue legs. In this head, I think it came in the female football set as well as the Pharrell Williams set. That's where I got mine from. And of course, she's got some long black hair here to finish out the look. Here we have Dr. K, played by the incomparable Linda Hamilton, who I actually just got to meet a couple weeks ago. She was super nice. Anyways, for this, I used dark green legs as well as the torso from the Toy Story soldiers. The head is actually from the most recent version of Aunt May, and the hair is from the most recent version of Episode 1 Anakin. And of course, I gave her a little blaster pistol there because why not? Now, as we get into the final couple customs here, I want to shout out my pal, the Brick Patch, on Instagram and YouTube, who had some great ideas for these characters. I kind of gave him my own little spin here a little bit, here and there, but yeah, great stuff. Brick Patch, definitely check him out. Anyways, for Mrs. Wheeler here, I went ahead and used this head from Cora from the Legotron Legacy set because I really like that she has a little bit of eyeshadow there, which you don't really see a ton. Then, of course, I went ahead and used this regular hair. I think that just works great. And the torso and legs are from Luna Lovegood from Lego Harry Potter. It was crazy seeing 8 at the end of Volume 1, and so to build 8, I used the head from Ajax from the Lego Marvel Eternals sets, with just some regular hair here, like from Finn from Star Wars. These dual-molded arms come from Commissioner Gordon from the Lego Batman movie CMF, with a flipped-around young Nick Fury torso. I think that works out great, and white legs to finish the look. And finally, we've got Derek as our final figure here. Really, really cool to have him here, and I think it worked out great. The torso is from Sesame Street, of all places. I think that's the closest I can get with pieces in my collection, but I'd be curious if you guys can think of another option for Derek's colorful sweater. Then to add a little bit more color, I used these arms from Bart Simpson from the Lego Simpsons line, with tan hands, short light blue legs, this head from, oh my gosh, what is that character's name? It's not Dennis Nedry, but it's some other dude from Jurassic World. I'm sure the comments will let us know. And this flat top buzz cut hair from J. Jonah Jameson from the Spider-Man train set. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and bring today's video to a close. Alright guys, be sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you plan on getting the Stranger Things Creel House set, and I'll see you guys on the next video.